PowerPoint, then we're going to turn it into these other things.
These are really cool colors.
Right. So now, when we define the quality of time, we started today with the quality of time, and then we wanted to understand these grahas, because these grahas seem to be having a direct controlling impact on tattvas. We were talking of water element, and we talked of moon and Venus. We talked of fire, we talked of sun and Mars. We talked of the solid matter, and we talked of Mercury and the growth. We talked of Saturn, we talked of sorrow, little bit of sorrow, and that's his exaltation, his highest sorrow. For example, somebody was asking, Marita wanted to know why Saturn exalted in the 7th house. The highest sorrow comes from relationships. Right. Got it? The highest sorrow always comes from the relationship. 7th house. So the 7th house has to do with the highest sorrow. That's where he's king. He's delighted. See, crying again. Lost your girlfriend. See, that's what he does. That's Saturn's joy. So he is delighted when you cry because you lost your spouse or the spouse goes away, or there is a difference. Relationships can cause sorrow. That is how Saturn is exalted in the 7th house, which is the door through which you meet people. Now, so we understood Saturn and the air element about movement and relationships and whatever, and growth, income. Then we understood Rahu and how he causes rebirth, and Ketu as he causes moksha. So we realized rebirth has to do with the air element, because Rahu is like Saturn. Rahu is like Saturn, the air element. So air element has to do with rebirth. Ketu or moksha is like Mars, the fire element. So fire has to do with moksha. So it's a battle between fire and air. Air brings us back to this planet. What fire takes us away to God. So all spiritual paths must have fire in them. Now when we talk of fire, we ultimately talk of light. And light is available through the sun and the moon. So you see it is the play of sun and moon that will define the amount of light that is available. And what is total light in a day? Total light is the light of the sun plus the light of the moon. It's a plus, right? The light that you got in the day plus the light that you get in the night is the total light that is available for you. And that is called yoga. Yoga means union, addition. So you add the sun and the moon to get Jupiter. Yoga means coming together. When the sun energy and the moon energy come together, they work in harmony. They are being brought together. That is the yoga. So it's an addition. Okay? And a reverse of that is a subtraction. When the sun energy is used up by the moon energy, that is, you have so much of energy of the day, but in the night you throw it all away. That is the moon energy or the night energy is removing from the sun. Then that is relationship. That is Tithi, Jala, Venus. So when they add up, it becomes Jupiter, it becomes spirituality. When it is removed, it becomes relationship, Venus, Jala. So the Tithi has a difference between sun and moon, whereas the addition is yoga. That is the first important difference between Tithi and yoga. Okay? First understanding. The first understanding. We need to be clear about it. Now, so ultimately, it is from the sun and the moon that all these things we will derive. These 5 things, yoga, then we have a thing called Vara. Vara is Mars. He says to hell with the moon. I don't care. Whether moon exists or it doesn't, I don't care. I will only follow the sun. I can't have two bosses. So this is the path of the fire, Agni. Agni only is from Sun and Mars. It is the physical strength in the body. Remember we did that. And then we have Prithvi. Prithvi is derived from Jala. How did your bone come into being? Your bone came into being from the blood of your mother. How does my bone continue to stay in my body? Your bone continues to stay in your body from your own blood. So it is water that forms bones. It is water that forms muscles. It is water it is from water that all the solid is made. And not vice versa. Solid is made by liquid. When liquid dries up, it becomes solid. Do you see that? You take a glass of salt and water and you dry up the water. What is left behind? The salt. That is exactly, if you dry up Tithi, it becomes Karana. But this follows the sun again. After being dried up, it follows the sun. That means there is a relationship between this fire and this Karana. So the sun has two controlling elements as far as time is concerned. That is Vara and Karana. The moon has two controlling elements called Tithi and Nakshatra. Okay? And both of them together contribute to yoga. These five elements, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 are called Panchanga. These five, Panchanga. So now, in my finger, I shall remember Panchanga. I have to remember it in my fingers and not over there. So you put your thumb out and say yoga, thumb. Thumbs up to yoga. Right? Thumbs up is good. Yoga is good. Yoga is important. The sun energy and the moon energy are coming together. It's a thumbs up energy. Right? Fire, this. Vara. Get out of my room. Get out from here. You see the pointing finger? Agni. Remember, this is fire. So we put Akash in the thumb. We put fire in the index finger. Then we put Prithvi or the solid element in the middle finger. Right? And then go on, tell me next.
Jala.
Jala doesn't come out here. Jala comes in the little finger. And Vayu comes in this finger. So please put your hand like that on your paper and draw your hand. You know, I taught you how to draw the hand very quickly. Put your hand like this on the paper, take your pen and run it around it. Straight away. Okay? And having done that, please mark in each finger. Thumb is Akash. Index finger? Agni. Please say with me. Please say with me. Agni. Right. Middle finger? Prithvi. Prithvi. Good. Then? Vayu. Then? Jala. Okay? Now, if I want to transform somebody's relationships, which finger am I supposed to see? Water element or not? Relationship is all about water, emotions, right? Little finger. If I want to transform somebody's work is not doing well, middle finger. If I want to transform somebody's longevity or long life, good fortune, his life quality, Vayu. Vayu has to do with movement. I am not moving in the right directions in my life. I need better direction in my life. This one. My fortune is all about movement. I need to move in the right directions. Okay? Longevity. Keep that in mind. Now I teach you simultaneously. This is quality of life. Thumb is quality of life. Thumb, yeah, Jupiter, Akash, is the quality of life. Your intelligence. This is your fighting power. You need an index finger and a thumb to pull an arrow. You need, you pull the trigger always with this. It's called a trigger finger. Okay? All your trigger, this is a very important finger. With this you do the hammering in the world. See, Agni? Does it sound right?
Yes.
Right. Then comes Prithvi, your middle finger. Prithvi is solid. Prithvi has to do with growth. Right? We talked about growth. About your work. About your growth. Prithvi Tattva. So everything to do with work has to do with which finger? Middle finger. Why? Because it is Prithvi. Good. Then, longevity. My life quality is this ring finger. My fortune, my longevity, my life quality is the ring finger. And my relationships are the little finger. Keep this in mind. This is the rule for both astrology as well as palmistry. Whatever I am teaching you about your fingers, as I taught you yesterday, today also. Whatever I have taught you. Yesterday I taught you the signs in the here. Today now you have learned the fingers. Okay? So now, normally we do not put anything over here. Because this is God. Right? This is, because Akash is God, Jupiter is God. Right? So we don't put anything on the thumb. Now, what is spirituality? Spirituality is God winning over fire, anger. God helping me to understand my anger and my fire and my everything. Is this not spirituality? Does this look like spirituality to you? What is knowledge? When you have knowledge of something, your anger is gone. So when God controls fire, you have spirituality. With this, you can control your knowledge, light, fire, enlightenment. This is the controlling power. The controlling figure is that Jupiter controls. This, when on this, is controlling the fire. When Jupiter is on this, what is he controlling? Earth element, or the work, your karma. Right? When he's on this, what is he controlling? Your longevity. Nakshatra has to do with longevity. Please write down longevity over there, near that, in case you don't remember. Did you write down work over here? Mm-hmm. Right. Did you write relationship over here?
Yeah.
Good. And this, health. Fire has to do with health, is it not? Mm-hmm. Your energy system in the body. Your health. Or you can write down dharma over here, dharma. Right? This is artha. Right? This is kama. Kama is here and this is moksha.
I'm sorry, what was that last one? Moksha is Java.
Moksha is water.
And what were the first two again?
Dharma, artha. Dharma, artha. Artha is wealth. So you see, if you want to get over wealth, you want to become free from this wealth, you know what, how Ramakrishna would go into Samadhi? Like this. This is how Ramakrishna would go into Samadhi. This one thumb he will use to suppress this two. And he had the power over wealth. And he had the power over Vayu. Vayu is your longevity, quality of life, as well as your rebirth. Is it not? So what did he do? He destroyed, he completely controlled his life's directions. Okay? You understand that? There are different mudras. You got to understand. One of the ways of worshipping Shakti. There is a lot of trouble in married life. Meditate like this. Keep your 3 fingers together, not like this. Can you do it? Right. And this little finger, which is the water finger, right? Jala is being controlled by this. Now meditate. When you meditate like this, you will see. Keep this like this on your posture and you meditate. We will do more of this on the day of sadhana. But I wanted you to understand this. Okay. Next slide. Let's go to the next slide.